I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome, everybody. All right, we're going to open up the public hearing here at 4:45 p.m. I'm going to open up the public hearing to present the zoning amendment pertaining to Winlaw, which is the local law number 1 for the year of 2024. The local law to amend the code of the Town of Paris zoning law, Article 8, Section 61 and 62. I'm going to open up the floor for any comments.
Was there an announcement? I mean, I knew about the meeting from emails, but was there an announcement anyplace?
It was in the paper.
Oh, it was in the paper?
Yep.
Oh, okay, I looked at the webpage. Okay. Should have been there.
It was in the paper on the second.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd like to comment on it. I'm reading through your amendments here. Obviously, these amendments, you must have discussed this with other towns that have these windmills.
Of course, sure, yeah, sure.
I just wanna say that, I own land 200 miles north of here, up in the northeast corner of the state. And we've had windmills, 2 windmills on our property for 12 years now. And I attended a meeting over at the school, and I didn't say anything, but it was pretty anti. But a lot of the stuff that was presented there is just not factual. I mean, they talked about dead birds. I've yet to see a dead bird underneath our windows. And the one other comment I'd like to say is that the town has, I see the payment in lieu of taxes. Has the town even met with the windmill company to see what the payment in lieu of taxes is going to be?
We've discussed, no, they haven't come to us yet.
Okay. Well, the towns that we deal with up there, we own land in both Ellenburg and Clinton, which is in the northeast corner of the state, about 5 miles south of the Canadian border. I can tell you, they benefited greatly by the windmill projects up there, because the town, taxes went down. The highway department got all new trucks, I think front end loader and all that stuff, the town of Clinton. And I'd be happy to give you those town officials. I don't know what towns did you consult with? Maybe Lowville?
No, we talked with Litchfield. They were one we talked with.
Litchfield's got windmills?
They have the same zoning, basically, concerns that we
Okay,
do.
but did you go out, reach out to any towns that have windmills currently operation?
We didn't even have a company come to us yet, so,
Oh, okay. So, have you talked to Lowville at all?
no. Belleville's not even within throwing distance of a baseball. So, no.
But, I mean.
We're concerned about people here. We're concerned about our town here.
Okay.
Not so much Belleville.
But I don't think anybody's looking at this from an economic standpoint.
Can I interject, Mr. Supervisor?
Please.
I am also counsel to the Herkimer County Industrial Development Agency, which covers a fair portion of the state, and I have a fair amount of familiarity with not just windmills, but renewable energy facilities and the application of pilots and host community agreements. So, yes, I do have familiarity. I've also been to numerous conferences, spoken with the State Assessors Association, the new formulas that are used and depreciation schedules. So everybody's entitled to their opinion. This is a hearing, so I'm here to hear everybody, but a fair amount of thought with that background went into this, because not everybody sees a pilot schedule as being the end all and be all, depending upon what their pilot agreement may be, particularly with the involvement right now of industrial development agencies making those facilities tax exempt for those pilots. So I don't know the specifics of a particular project, because projects vary even within the same municipality.
That's true.
So we're not always comparing apples to apples. I was charged with coming up with a program suitable to this town, consistent with the immediately surrounding communities.
The only thing I'm saying is that you should listen to what the windmill company's got and what pilot offer is and all that. Pilot usually is like a 25 or 30-year pilot, okay? So, and I can tell you from experience, taxes did go down in those 2 townships that we deal with. I have nothing to gain or lose with this project in Paris, because I don't have enough land here in Paris to be a potential windmill site. So I have nothing to gain. I'm just saying, after listening to the meeting that was over at the school, there was a lot of false information presented, you know, anti, which I can find as much pro as you can find anti, so.
So you're aware that this does not preclude a pilot. In fact, it adds a second level of a host community agreement.
Yes, we went through it up there years ago, and the county's gonna be involved in it, DEC's gonna be involved in it, you're gonna have all kinds of agencies. You're looking at about 5 years before they get all the permits and any project can move forward, from our experience.
Understand?
How many windmills are in the town?
There's 2 projects, we're involved with a company that's based out of Portugal, Energy de Portugal. And there's another project up there that was started by a company by the name of Noble, and General Electric took them over. But there's at least 2 companies up there along the Canadian border. There's about 270 windmills, starting from Chateauguay, going down towards Plattsburgh. Okay, I mean, when you go to Lowville, there's probably 185 up there, last I knew, I think there's more now. So, but, talk to these other towns that have gone through this. I mean, when I read your zoning here, it looks like, basically it's been copied from towns. I see a lot of decommissioning, I mean, they post a bond to decommission those windmills. As a matter of fact, they just decommissioned one about a week ago up there, because it caught fire and they had to take it down.
Caught fire.
It caught fire. It burned, it didn't hurt anything, I mean, there was debris, they cleaned up debris. We've had a good working relationship with the windmill company up there. The project is Marble River Wind, if you wanna look it up.
Has there been any other incidents? Like you just said, this one caught fire, were there any other incidents?
There's been incidents, yes, I think there was one over here in Fenner that tipped over, that wasn't in our project. There was one of the Noble windmills down in town of Altona that tipped over. What happens is the braking system on them, if you get winds above 50 miles an hour,
Right.
if the braking system doesn't work, it can tip over the wind tower. I mean, that's why I see that you got a setback of 2,500 feet from any residential structure, so that's why they set them back. So, but I'd be happy to furnish you names of the town officials if you want it. I don't have it with me tonight, but I can get it for you. That's all I have. Any other questions about it?
Thank you.
Welcome.
Yes.
JC, I just, a while ago, I sent a bunch of recommendations to the town board, and Tony and I worked together with this, and he's addressed just about all the issues. The one main issue, and I know Tony's gonna address it, is the fact that on the current law is the 2,500 foot setback for any resident or any structure. And that is just too close. That actually encumbers a person's property. So what Tony and I talked about basically is that there should be a 2,500 foot setback to any property line. That way there, the property owner is not encumbered by these wind turbines.
That's 25.
Other than that, I think everything else that I brought up is covered, so.
Thank you. Charlie, thank you.
Can I add a comment to that? 2,500 feet's a half a mile.
That's about it.
That pretty much precludes any farmer in the town of Paris, unless you own a square mile of property, from, you know, being able to take advantage of the windmill project.
Well, you're gonna encumber everybody's property if you do anything different.
2,500 feet's a half a mile, I'd like to remind you.
Doesn't matter.
Thank you. Anybody else?
I'd add one more thing. We have a windmill, and we have a structure, it's not a permanent residence, so it's about 100 yards from our camp. And it really isn't any problem to us.
We have about 5 more minutes. Anybody else has anything else?
So what's the plan from now to going forward? Is there gonna be additional hearings or?
No. Once this is closed, the public hearing's closed, we have basically 30 days to try to, talk amongst ourselves, basically, if we're gonna pass the law or not. And probably be doing it, if it's gonna happen, it'll probably be next month.
Okay.
Sure, yeah. Then I don't wanna hold you up at all. I was gonna mention that right at 5 o'clock. so. 5 o'clock, I'm gonna close out the public hearing, regarding the, zoning amendment pertaining to wind energy. It is closed at this time. All right, I'm gonna open up the regular board meeting, you guys wanna do the pledge again? Wanna do the pledge again? Do the pledge again.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Okay, welcome again, everybody. All right, we're looking for a motion to approve the minutes of the regular board meeting on Tuesday, June 11th.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion to approve the financial statements for the month of June of 2024.
I'll make that motion.
Got a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay, expected guest, Chris Roberts.
Yes.
We've got 5 minutes.
Liability concerns for the town of Paris. So where we are with Article 78 proceeding is, I guess we both got a surprise in that there's gonna be another continuance and a date for Verizon and Tarpon to show up. Make the same, thank you, make the same argument for the statute of limitations that the judge will not allow Mr. Hollick to make for the town anymore. She suggested that she should maybe attack the merits, but we know that can't be done because it should have never been approved. So where does this, so it gets approved, okay? Gets motioned out, statute of limitations, tower gets built, you're still under a year for the statute of limitations for fiduciary, breach of fiduciary duty, okay? The planning board and zoning board have a fiduciary duty to the public to only pass things according to the criteria, the facts, and the law, okay? That didn't happen here. For some reason, outside the boards, it was being pushed that this thing be passed. Even though I went through a great extent of effort to bring to the attention of everybody why the evidence was deficient to be able to support the area variance and the special use permit. And I would like to bring to the attention that we're spending a lot of time when Mr. Hollick could have just, Verizon's, who's gonna be Verizon's wireless, why didn't he have him come in? Tactical. Why is the town so involved? Why are they spending so much money? Look at the invoices. To talk to Tarpon Towers. What other client do you do this with? That's an applicant. Why are we spending so much money to do this when Verizon Wireless should have taken care of this problem? And they should have fought this instead of the town, on the burden of the town. Now, I'm noticing that he also charged you for a review, print and say copy, and NYMIR insurance response denying coverage to the town of Paris regarding Roberts v. Town of Paris ZBA. Okay, that's not a big deal because the most I could get is cost, okay? Cost of the filing, mailing, stuff like that. So you're talking very little amounts. So what? The breach of fiduciary duty, that could be in the millions. And every neighbor also has that same complaint, and they could win. And that's where we're going with this, obviously, because nobody wants to step in and say, what's going on here? Why is Mr. Hollick so invested in pushing this through on the burden of the taxpayer? So his argument should be on the merits, and he should prove that in court. Otherwise, there's going to be follow-up lawsuits. I don't see any other way to get justice. Thank you very much for your time. Have a great evening.
Thanks, Chris. There's nobody else expected on the list here. All right, a couple resolutions here. Going back to the wind energy law, basically we're looking for a motion to close out the seeker with no adverse environmental impact.
Can I interrupt?
Okay.
Motion just to close seeker at
Just
this
one
moment.
more, okay, just one.
I will prepare a proposed finding facts and
Okay.
come back there at the next meeting.
All right, there's a motion to close out the seeker then, please. Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Let's see, we talked about last month about the Stephen Swan Maine Society agreement. Looks like we're gonna have to do it. If not, we're, I don't know what we're gonna do with our animals. It's gonna cost quite a bit of money, so it's something we need to look at when we get into the budget. Okay, so, just to be able to that. Alright, so just looking for a motion to approve that I can sign the, animal shelter agreement with the Stephen Saunders Humane Society and the town of Paris.
Casey, what is it? Do you know what it's gonna cost?
Too much. It's just like, it went up like 210%.
What was it before?
Less than 210%. It's very expensive. It's per dog, $50.
I think it was $50. I think now it's 75.
Yeah, and it's just.
Which in turn, once we pass this, then I'll just try to change my redemption fees, so when I can collect back from the owner to recoup some of that cost. You know,
Right.
sometimes we can't recoup it,
Right.
but we'll try to make it so we can get most of that money back.
We seem to do okay because we don't have that many dogs right
Yeah.
now, but, yeah.
Sometimes we
I'm
get
just
them.
curious.
I think the townships, other townships were trying to, just group all of us together to, just go back after the county and ask them for some, some guidance, that's all.
So, we pay them per dog, and then when the owners go to pick them up, they pay,
They're supposed to pay me like bail,
they
and
pay
then,
you,
and then,
direct,
yes, and I
okay.
give them a receipt, and then they can go and
And then they
redeem their
can go
dog.
reclaim their dog,
Alright.
that's how it works, okay.
Yeah. But sometimes if those people don't reclaim their dogs, and they were holding on to the dog, then we end up with a bill that we gotta come up with money for.
I'll make that motion, Jason.
Alright, can I get a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Alright, thank you. Okay, let's see, my communications have been going through this whole agenda, so, looks like we need some transfers. The main one, the general A, is the pickleball court, obviously we pay them. That guy wants to get paid, so we're just gonna be transferring that $78,085.86 from 688, other liabilities, to 84089, which is the COVID relief, and then, transferring the same money, $78,085.86 from the COVID fund back to the Rex, to the park, so we can pay out $72,104. Make a motion on that, please.
I'll make that motion.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Thank you. Water, Joe, huh? You wanna get paid for the Butler Road?
I think they do.
Alright. That looks nice up there, by the way.
Yes.
Really nice. I don't know if everybody made it up there to take a look at that. But we need to transfer some stuff over to, sewer 511 to 8640.4. And again, I'm moving that 96,000 to, SW 200, SW 231, to the water reserve account. A motion on that, please. Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Thank you. Good with those, Mike? Alright, Jimmy's on vacation, so he asked me to talk about the paving. Looks like Clayville, the village is having some paving work done by Hanson. We look like we're gonna piggyback onto that to help out the village on our end. So Jim was asking for a resolution for Hanson to pay Foundry Place at the cost of $13,926. That is just paying for the material. Hanson is paying, since they're already down there, we don't have to pay for any of the labor, or none of the labor, just the material, so that's good. Can I get a motion on that, please?
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Thank you. Water superintendent. Joe?
Yeah, I don't have much, just, doing our summer stuff, seems like all we're doing is mowing and weeding, but, Butler Road's done, with the exception of the, light there, which I kinda hope they don't put in anyway, cause I think it just draws attention to us. They're just waiting on some parts for that. The ACT pack had to be reprogrammed, I don't know if anybody knows what that is, but that tells me what's going through and what our pressures are. So we're just waiting on that to come back, and we're probably gonna, make a hole in one of those doors and put plexiglass in there.
Okay.
Secure, obviously,
Sure.
so we don't have to keep removing the doors to see what the numbers are on this thing, so.
That makes sense.
To keep it, solid for a little while.
Okay. That's okay.
But, hopefully we're gonna start flushing next week,
Okay.
so I'll be talking with Patty and have her put that out on Rave and
Okay.
on the news.
Alright.
And,
So possibly might have some, a little bit of dirty water.
Yeah, probably some dirty water.
Okay. Alright, and like you said, we're gonna get that on the radio, okay.
Yeah, the turkey farm,
Yeah.
I just wanna explain that quick in case anybody saw it. They wanted to use our hydrant on Holman City Road, but
that's old cast iron main, so I really didn't want somebody driving over the hose and hammering on that thing all day, so I take our Clayville's fire truck down there and they use that for the day, and just in case anybody wonders why it's down there. But I just dropped that off, and they actually have a guy there that's a fireman, so he knows how to turn it on and off for me, so
All right, thank you for doing that, we
Yeah.
do appreciate that.
just kinda saves me some grief.
Yeah, sure, yeah, understandable. Yeah, so thank you for doing it, also from Clayville, so thank you. All right. Nothing else, Joe?
No, not right now.
Thank you. Park Director, Gary.
Alright, swim lessons have kicked off. We're going into our second week of our first session. They're going pretty well. Open swims been very busy. We're actually double what we were last year. Since no chemicals
Yeah,
leave the pool. We did switch our extended hours. We changed Tuesdays and Thursdays to 3 to 7. That seems to be going very well. Pickleball courts have been really busy, especially in the mornings. They're waiting at 8 a.m. to get there when I open up the gates. We do keep those locked, usually they're open from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. I just got an email today confirming that Stewart Shops will be donating ice cream, hot dogs, and drinks for a big fun day on August 9th for our swim lesson participants.
Very nice.
So having that donation really helps offset the cost of that event that is really look forward to
Yeah.
from all of our kids
That's
in the
great.
community.
Very nice.
We've had a few issues with people in the park after hours. Law enforcement has suggested that we post or come up with a definitive time that the park closes. I would like to suggest 9 o'clock. I don't know if it's something you guys have to pass, make a motion to the board to put it so it's on the law.
Wasn't signed up.
Put a sign up
It
saying
says
it's
dusk right now.
It says dusk, yeah, it's kind of, even like dusk the other day was 8:44 and people were still there. I don't know if they're after, like, definitely when it's dark, but it doesn't say a definitive time, it doesn't, it's a little harder for them. We also had a trespass incident on July 4th in the pools. Law enforcement did apprehend those individuals when they were trespassed, but he also said that for that too, we should have signs indicating on the pool that the pool is closed when there's no lifeguard on duty, even though there is a sign that says keep out,
Yeah.
pool closed. But yeah, I wanted more, just in case it's ever brought up for liability. And I think that's all I have.
What were the hours on the pickleball court?
8 a.m. to 8 p.m. is when it's open.
Did the school come down at all? And do any work down there at all, roll the lawn or work on the parking lot? Or excuse me, on the playground?
The playground?
How about the softball, the little league field?
Yeah, they do that every once in a while, or I see them maybe once a week.
Oh, okay,
Do that, and then
alright.
I don't know if the town rolled the beach yet, or raked the beach, or if it was.
Yeah.
It was the town.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was them. I thought it was their tractor.
Alright, so Carrie, are you looking for a motion to put something up for 9 a.m. closing it?
Or 9 p.m. Yeah, in the park. Yep.
You wanna make that motion? Can I get a second to close the park, put some signs up at 9 p.m. to close the park? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
I mean, obviously there's some people walking dogs or something. I'm not really gonna go. I can see on the cameras what, different activities are a little more suspicious than others. But if we've got it, then it's easier for law enforcement to trespass.
Okay. Alright. I've heard great things down there, Gary, so you're doing a good job. Anything else?
How are you doing for staff? If you are pretty well staffed?
Yeah, it's keeping us busy, but we're pretty good staff. We got a good group of kids. So.
Okay.
Good. Alright, Gary, thank you. Let's see, Assessor Patty, assessor roll was filed with the town clerk on July 1st. That's fair to say, Mike? Yep. Got it? Okay. I don't have anything for codes and zoning.
Yeah, she just said that year to date, she's got 38 permits. Building permits.
Okay. Budget, everybody hopefully had a few minutes to look at the budget as well. Obviously, there's no transfers going on, everything's moving smoothly. Let's see, attorney for the town.
At the close of the last meeting, in response to questions raised regarding nuisance and neighborly accommodations, I was presented with a number of laws, and I've had a chance to reach out to a number of my peers. I'll try not to belabor this. The laws that I was presented with were substantially from cities with police departments. I want to distinguish that because the ordinances I was asked to look at were applying, or looking to a criminal standard. We're looking at what was described at this particular meeting was essentially a private nuisance as opposed to a public nuisance, but that doesn't mean we can't make it more than that. But when we go down this public nuisance road, because we're a rural community as opposed to a city, if we're gonna do this law, there are other little things that I may want to consider introducing to it. One of my favorites in some towns is roosters. Clucking all night long, are they gonna be considered a nuisance between neighbors when we go down this road? And I'm not for or against, I'm just saying, it's gonna take a little more thought than just saying we're gonna bar one particular kind of conduct if we're gonna do this. A lot of these things are aimed at people who are routinely selling drugs or things out of homes. So I would like to present to the board at the next meeting, or before then, just kind of a general outline of considerations and things for drafting this law. In talking to two of my peers in particular, we want to talk about the administrative process. Are we going to require a formal sworn information before we take action? Who's going to be the first step in that action? And then the caveat given to me was, we need to be careful about making what's a public nuisance. Do we want to make ourselves the private enforcer between a neighborly dispute? So these are considerations that I'm going to raise. I just want everybody to know I looked at it. I haven't had time to write something up, but by the next board meeting, I can get you something. And then maybe you can respond to me with questions about what you're looking to see, and if the public has more input. But, you know, taking it seriously, but these are things that I've looked at and reached out to others in similar situations. No.
Cops haven't showed up very much, but I don't know if that's because people start calling them anymore.
Alright. We'll work on it, that's for sure.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, no, you're fine.
Okay. Two more quick things. I wanted to address publicly Mr. Roberts' comments, but I'll bring it in detail in executive session. His comments could be nothing further from the truth. In fact, the judge specifically advised him that all defenses and everything are all preserved and on the table until Verizon is joined as a party and the landowner. So what he said is false. And I'll share the details of everything about the litigation in executive session, so everybody's fully informed. Third item, so the board is aware, I think everybody is, for the record, on behalf of the Collins Farm, they have filed an Article 78 proceeding against the town and the codes officer to compel the issuance of a certificate of occupancy. We'll respond to the details of that and the conversations with our expert from this afternoon in executive session too.
Okay.
Other than that, I have nothing else in my, no.
Okay. Alright, thank you, Joe. Alright, so then we'll, motion to go into executive session for litigation reasons at 5:18 PM.
Can I ask you a question? I
No,
don't
you're
know if you had
interrupting.
public comment yet or not.
I'm sorry?
Did you have any public?
No.
Okay.
Motion to go to executive session again at 5:19 PM for litigation.
Make that motion.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Alright, thank you. Just have everybody step out, please. Got that.
Oh, they left?
Yeah.
I was looking for other competitor.
Now we're ready.
Alright. Thank you, Mike. You're welcome. Okay, just motion to come out of executive session at 5:29 PM.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Alright, motion to pay the vouchers. Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
I haven't reviewed them also.
Okay, motion to close out the meeting at 5:30.
Make that motion.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay, thank you, everybody. Have a good evening.